John Forté, born on January 30, 1975 and died on January 12, 2026, was an American recording artist, producer and composer whose career bridged classical training, socially conscious hip-hop and global collaboration. He rose to prominence as a key member of the refugee camp All-Stars, earning widespread recognition for his contributions to the Fugees' landmark 1996 album The Score. The album's critical and commercial success led to a Grammy Award nomination for Forté at just 21 years old and cemented his reputation as a gifted writer and producer within hip-hop's golden era. Beyond his work with the Fugees, Forté collaborated with major artists across genres, including Wyclef Jean, A Tribe Called Quest, Busta Rhymes and Carly Simon. His songwriting and production credits include tracks such as We Trying to Stay Alive and Rumble in the Jungle, while his solo work showcased a distinctive blend of intellectual lyricism, orchestral sensibility and street-level realism. In 1998 he released his debut album Poli-Sci, produced by Wyclef Jean, which received strong critical praise for its ambitious fusion of academia and urban culture, despite modest commercial performance. At the time of his death on January 12, 2026, John Forté's estimated net worth was widely believed to range between $8 million and $12 million, reflecting a career defined by early commercial success, long-term royalty income, and a steady, independent creative output later in life. The foundation of his wealth stemmed largely from his role as a co-writer and producer on the Fugees' multi-platinum 1996 album The Score, which sold more than 22 million copies worldwide and continues to generate substantial publishing, performance, and streaming royalties decades after its release. Additional income was derived from his solo catalog, production credits and high-profile collaborations with artists such as Wyclef Jean, as well as licensing placements in film, television and sports media, including his commissioned Brooklyn Nets anthem. While his career was interrupted by incarceration in the early 2000s, Forté rebuilt his financial footing following his release in 2008 through touring, selective collaborations, film scoring, and the growing digital monetization of legacy hip-hop catalogs, reportedly performing over 100 shows in the years that followed. Though he never publicly disclosed his finances, higher-end estimates incorporate not only music-related earnings but also assets such as his home in Chilmark on Martha's Vineyard, a region known for high property values, alongside his intellectual property holdings. Despite his wealth, Forté was known to live modestly in his later years, prioritizing family and creative freedom over extravagant spending, leaving behind an estate centered on enduring royalties and long-term stability rather than short-term commercial gain. Early life and education. Born in Brownsville, Brooklyn, New York City, Forté was introduced to music at an early age. A pivotal moment came when, at 8 years old, he chose a violin during a school instrument distribution, an unexpected decision that shaped his creative identity. He went on to study classical violin, developing a deep appreciation for composers such as Vivaldi. His talent earned him a scholarship to the prestigious Phillips Exeter Academy, where he graduated in 1993. After returning to New York, Forté enrolled at New York University as a music business major and lived with future collaborator Talib Kweli. He later left NYU to work as an A&R executive at Rawkus Records, placing him at the center of the emerging underground hip-hop movement of the 1990s. Personal life. It was on the Vineyard that Forté met Lara Fuller, a freelance photographer known for her ability to capture quiet, intimate moments, families in motion, children at play, and landscapes shaped by light and patience. They met during the summer of 2015, and their relationship unfolded naturally, shaped by long conversations, shared values, and the grounding calm of the island. For Forté, Lara represented not only love, but safety, understanding, and renewal. The couple married on March 3, 2017 on Martha's Vineyard, marking a pivotal turning point in Forté's life. With Lara, he built the stability and joy that had long eluded him, embracing marriage not as an escape from his past, but as a future he felt finally ready to inhabit. Together, John and Lara raised 2 children, their daughter Ren and their son Hailey. Fatherhood became central to Forté's identity. Friends and neighbors often described him as gentle, present, and deeply attentive, a man who listened closely, laughed easily, and poured creativity into everyday moments. He took immense pride in his role as a husband and father, frequently expressing that his children were his greatest teachers and his truest inspiration. Their home in Chilmark reflected this balance of creativity and warmth. A stone fireplace and outdoor deck became gathering places where music drifted freely, children played nearby, and conversation stretched long into the evening. These informal jam sessions, sometimes with visiting artists, sometimes just family, embodied the life Forté had intentionally built. One rooted in connection rather than performance. Despite his public career, Forté was fiercely protective of his family's privacy. He shared only glimpses of his home life, choosing presence over publicity. In interviews, he often spoke of how love, accountability, and family had reshaped his worldview, grounding his art in gratitude and reflection rather than ambition alone. Career and legal struggles. Forté's career was abruptly disrupted in 2000 when he was arrested at Newark International Airport and charged with possession with intent to distribute cocaine and conspiracy to distribute. He was convicted and sentenced to a mandatory minimum of 14 years in federal prison, a sentence widely criticized as disproportionate. During his incarceration, Forté continued to create music, releasing I, John 2001, a deeply introspective album recorded while awaiting trial, featuring collaborators such as Herbie Hancock and Carly Simon. Simon became a close mentor and advocate for Forté, publicly supporting his case and campaigning against rigid mandatory minimum sentencing laws. With the backing of prominent figures and lawmakers, Forté's sentence was ultimately commuted by President George W. Bush in November 2008. He was released from prison the following month after serving nearly 8 years. Returned to music and later work. Following his release, Forté experienced a creative resurgence. He recorded extensively, performed internationally, taught at the City College of New York, and released the Style-Free EP in 2009, which reflected themes of redemption, resilience, and social awareness. His music was featured in films, television, and sports media, including an anthem for the Brooklyn Nets and the theme for the CBS documentary series Brooklyn DA. Throughout the 2010s, Forté expanded his global reach, founding the production company Le Castle, touring extensively across Europe and Russia, and collaborating with artists such as John Legend, Natasha Bedingfield, and Talib Kweli. His later albums, including Water Light Sound 2011, Rid-Dem Drive 2020, and Vessels, Angels and Ancestors 2021, reflected a mature, genre-spanning sound shaped by life experience, spirituality, and international influence. John Forté passed away unexpectedly at his Martha's Vineyard home on January 12, 2026, at the age of 50. He is survived by his wife, Laura Fuller, and their children, Ren and Hailey. While his musical legacy continues to resonate, those closest to him remember him foremost as a devoted husband and a deeply loving father. A man who, after a life of turbulence, found lasting fulfillment in the quiet strength of family. Thank you for watching. For more content like this, subscribe and click on the bell notification.